It's our same old crew, now with firearms. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Hey, uppies. Come on, don't make this weird. We do this all the time. Don't make this weird.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and I am your host and DM as we continue our adventure tonight. Before we do that, I am going to do what we always do and introduce the cast we have with us for this adventure. On my virtual left, we have Seb playing Choom DeLoom.
We come in peace.
Mike as Brunner Brew Blitzboar.
I now have a stick.
John as Jam Jam.
Jam Jam has a boomstick.
Lewis as Lev Zangiv.
I wish we had gotten more of that pizza.
Dave as March.
Fuck, smells like garlic and feet.
And Nicole as Glorp Glup Glup.
I have a pointy hat.
So when we last left off, you guys were leaving this sort of rented office that you were instructed to meet this man, Proxy Keen, representative of the flotilla at. He had a mission for you to retrieve a data retrieval mission. Was not able to elaborate on exactly the type of data or what you were going to retrieve, except for the fact that you're looking for information on a certain Project Q, and you were going to be sent off-world to do so. This ride is going to pick you up with a pilot. You are not piloting your own ship, and to bring you to this location to retrieve this data. So we're going to be kind of cutting the camera back to just as everyone's leaving the office. Again, we have Choom's delivery vehicle parked up front. I will say that for the larger folks who were riding in the back of this last time, it was a very uncomfortable and bit of a cramped ride. This is a package truck, but I do need to make sure that I stay true to what I had said before in that, again, these streets in the raft are nothing more than, again, flattened ship hulls and fused together, scrap metal that are making them. And so many of the streets are not necessarily the widest. So this thing isn't while it can store a good amount of packages and it can fit the two of you back there relatively snugly, it is not a comfortable ride for those who are in the package section of the truck. However, if you choose to use this same transportation to go back home or do whatever else you were going to do, you may do so. I think the only other thing that happened was that there was that subplot of everyone thinking that Proxy Keen was a vampire. You fed him a garlic pizza. I think that the results still there are unknown. The audience saw him spit out the piece of garlic pizza that was in his mouth, but he also did say he just doesn't like garlic. So, again, inconclusive thus far on whether or not he truly is a vampire, and whether or not that matters. But you have the day. Yeah, you have the rest of the day. I imagine Proxy did mention that a flotilla would be taking care of, I guess, informing your employers or, whomever that, you are going to be on official flotilla business and will be off of work. However, I guess would any of you be making any other personal arrangements before this mission? I'm kind of, again, giving you this day to prepare yourselves outside of just being equipped with this secondhand equipment and given this mission, right? Is there anything that any of you would like to do before we embark? Before we advance to the next day?
All right, guys, I guess I'm going to pull an all-nighter at the school, leaving some lesson plans for the supply that I didn't plan on making all night, so see you in the morning.
Okay. Glorp, do you call for a ride? There is
No,
a
I don't have
taxi
money for a
service.
ride. I spent all my money on school supplies already.
Right.
I start trudging towards the school.
You need
My
me to
new
drop
wizard
you off?
outfit.
Well, I think
can take you
everyone
over
has at least a little bit of GP in their accounts, in their digital accounts right now.
Yeah, I did leave a
their
little
digital
bit.
wallets.
I'm exaggerating.
And it's like, a ride is only going to cost you a few GP, right? I mean,
Doesn't
we're
cost
essentially
anything.
treating GP like dollars, right? Like, there's no other real like currencies except for GP in this universe, and their galactic promissory notes. However, there is not a lot of physical currency. It is almost entirely digital at this point.
Chum, if you're driving near the school, I'll happily take a ride.
Yeah, hop in. He opens the door and like you just see like cans and trash fall out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, the school is in your general neighborhood. It's not too far from where Our Lady of Wanderers is. Like, it's not far off from where that big plaza is, right? So it's not like it's going to be out of your way to drop Glorp off.
Honestly,
at the
we
school.
probably should go talk to Percy about all this.
Yes.
If anybody's
and
against that.
he would be home today, but he was out during the meeting with Proxy. So maybe you can fill him in. I will be Percival for a minute and kind of give his excuse of why he can't join you.
Does anybody else kind of get this weird feeling that we're kind of going on like a suicide mission? They don't expect us to come back?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah, me too.
But they wouldn't necessarily, at the same time, like they want this information, so it's not like
Right.
But
But why aren't they going to get
But I
it?
mean, you were explicitly told that you were being viewed as expendable.
Yeah.
However, if everything goes right, there shouldn't be any problems.
Right. But
you
when you
just
live
stick to the
life
mission.
A foot tall, not a lot of things go right for you in life. So I'm not really banking on
Okay.
it going right, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I mean, that's the energy you're putting out into this, but I mean,
Look, as a fellow vertically challenged individual, let me say, like, that there's some things that might be off limits to you, but let me tell you, it's a lot easier to duck shit. All right, you can duck out of a lot of things. And just speaking from the experience of having been on the run for like the last 11 years.
I imagine as soon as you say that, like two duck people walk by and give us weird looks. And then it's like, oh, sorry.
sure. some duck presenting Aarakocra.
Whatever. I literally can't even remember what the hell I said, so you're just gonna have to excuse the fact that things fall out of my mouth in this kind of fashion. Every now and
Yeah, I
again,
mean-
somebody's gonna get splashed on.
Again, March, you've been distracted for a while, and something I need to actually address something with March, because I said we were going to talk about it in the last episode when everyone was getting equipped, and then I never circled back to it. But your arcane focus, you described this to me off camera as almost like one of those Nintendo.
Cool.
What was what did you
hand?
describe this as? This hand thing?
Glove.
Yeah, they called it the power glove, like way back when, and let me tell you, the thing was a piece of crap. But anyway, we changed up all the internals on it at, a little bit of personal expense, mostly, man hours and, stealing shit.
Yeah, so it's almost
But-
like this, again, it's almost, it is sort of like a peripheral device that you have strapped and adjusted to your hand.
Yeah.
I will say that, because the comment you just made too of you kind of already forgot what you just said. You have been a bit distracted ever since that evening, when you plugged in that drive and received a message from someone but I don't know if anyone else was privy to that, because again, that was something you did in isolation. I mean, everyone would have noticed the lights go out in the place, but that's about
My
it.
head's all over the place. I ain't telling any of these jokers about it, but oh my god.
But I will say that
I'll
this
sleep.
this glove of yours has been like kind of buzzing. You swear almost like you feel like it's trying to talk to you. But like you might just be again distracted in your own head, going a little crazy, ever since that evening, because you have not heard any other, like there has been no further communication since that particular event.
Listen, with as little sleep as I get, like just hearing some buzzing out of my glove is gonna be, like that fades into the background at about, like 4 hours of sleep for the week.
But so yeah, you guys are driving back then. Was there anything, again, so Glorp kind of has their plan for the evening. What is everyone else going to do? Again, I just want to make sure that everyone kind of has an opportunity to do some additional preparations should you feel the need to do so. And just ask me something and I'll let you know what we can do about it.
I kind of want to link up with March and see if we can't procure ourselves any things that the people who are hiring us don't know that we have.
Sure. Okay. Before we get to that, then we got you two. Then maybe we're going to have a little conversation. Jam, Lev, Brew. Would there be any preparations you're making? I guess maybe I'll just go one at a time so you guys don't have to talk all at once. But we'll just go in the order I introduce you guys. So, Brew, what kind of preparations would you want to be making here? Is there anything in particular you would be doing in addition to being outfitted? But there's not really much you were looking for. You're a minimalist, and you've learned to be kind of comfortable being a minimalist as a newfound monk, right, of the Mystic Order of Wanderers. However, are there any preparations, meditations, specific things that maybe you're trying to do it before the next day?
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that I am part of the Mystic Order of Wanderers, is there any sort of pin or any sort of thing that I can kind of designate on myself to show that I'm part of that?
There's the pendant you were given during your initiation, right? There's that necklace that you were given to wear, right?
I do remember that now.
With the silver compass logo or icon upon it.
So probably, because I'm trying to be very meticulous and very caring about, my connection to that group. I'm polishing it. I'm making sure that it's shiny and presentable and ready to wear when I need to have it on.
Okay, sounds good. And again, since you're not necessarily employed per se, right? You're just you have found a community to kind of be a part of it. You've been doing things with them, and I'm sure it's involved some community work and whatnot, right? And a stipend just to kind of make sure that you can feed yourself. Would you check in with them before you went on this journey at all?
I would definitely, since we're on our way anyway, it sounds like, just kind of stop in, check in, kind of give them the because I'm just Brew is super excited. He's just elated to be going on this adventure. So he kind of goes and kind of brags a little bit, maybe. But not in a
location. Do you mention the location to them as far as where you're going to be traveling to? What kind of what do you tell them? What do you tell this group of people?
I think I'm balancing upon is it more pride or more I'm not trying to shove it at anybody's faces, but I kind of want to make it a little bit secretive, a little bit mysterious. I'm going on this really fun mission. I'll be back. I'll tell you all about it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I can't tell you about it now.
Right, but I can't tell you about it now.
Okay.
Right,
got it. Okay, just curious about how much information you share with them. Never mind. That's all. That's all I wanted to know. That's cool.
Yeah, I want them to ask questions, but not answer them.
Yeah, they ask you where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you just say I'll tell you later.
I'm elusive.
Okay. Jam. Were there any things you were in particular looking to do? I mean, you were probably the person who benefited the most from this whole equipment session.
Yeah.
With your newfound iron, so to speak.
Are we back at Concordia?
The Casa Concordia?
Casa Concordia.
I mean, yes. If you were one of the people who were decided just to go right home, right, and not stop anywhere, right? Because the other two would probably just catch up later.
Right. If we were dropping people off along the way, I figure the four of us are still in the car.
Yep.
Unless Lev wants to go somewhere.
Yeah, Lev, is there anywhere you need to be stopped, or do you want to go home?
No, I'm ready to go home because we're doing this tomorrow, right?
Correct. Yeah, those are the next day in the morning. You're supposed to go to the dock.
So
you've been given a location to go meet the pilot.
Yeah, if Lev is going back with us, Jam would immediately hop out of the car or the mail truck, whatever, waddle into the house, throw his new cool guns and outfit and everything into his room, come out wearing a hoodie, playing with a slinky, lock the door, and he would say, Choom, March. What do you boys say to a drink on the town before we head out?
And then you hear from another room. You hear Percival say, "Did I hear you guys say you're going out?"
Oh, man.
Sorry, Percy. Under 4 feet only. You know how it is.
No, we should probably bring him with us.
Extremely insensitive. I thought we were friends.
Just casually body shaming this fucking head over here.
You know how he gets. He'll mope around the house for like the next 2 weeks. If we don't bring him, he heard you. Now we gotta bring him. That's the rule.
That does sound accurate. Okay, fine. Was hoping for a good night with the little men, but you know.
I'm not really tied to that name, but yeah, hop in the truck. I'll drive us there, and we'll take a O-burst back.
An O-burst? Did you just say?
Yes, I did.
Oh, someone write that down. We gotta keep a catalog of all these.
Oh,
all these.
O-B-U-R-S-T, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. How do you have it spelled in your mind, Seb?
O, capital O, hyphen, burst. Like B-U-R-S-T.
Sure. Okay.
Jam Jam was considering walking. I mean,
Are there any bars close
There
by?
are plenty of watering holes within walking distance. This place is kind of massive, but again, I'm going to harken back to Dave described this again as a Kowloon walled city, except if it were made out of scrap and broken ships.
Yeah.
So, there's plenty of places all over the place, especially in your own little neighborhood, as it would be much more convenient for you guys to just walk rather than have to, figure out transport. You know your area better than most other places on the raft. So yeah, you could. There are a couple watering holes in the neighborhood. I'll let you pick one and give me a name.
I mean, if we're gonna pick a place, first, I think question number 1 is how fucked up we trying to get?
The night before a mission.
Up.
The night before a mission. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have like.
Remember how
one
that
sip
worked
of
out
beer
for us
or
when
two.
the other crew got that drunk?
It's a
Right.
self-fulfilling prophecy over here.
Right.
So that means that some other bozos are gonna go on the death mission. Oh no.
Yeah, it sucks for them.
Oh no, we've already had a brush with death. It's all right.
Oh well. But yeah, I'm down.
Where do you suggest, Marge?
Shit. All right, now I gotta come up with something.
I mean, there have been some suggestions in the name bucket if we want to.
Yeah, just go to the name. Go to the name bucket.
take
for
a name
these.
Let's go to the name bucket.
Let's go to the name bucket. That's a good one. I like it.
I will note that I have Meat Sticks and Melee noted as a potential store that could be across the road from Guns and Buns that doesn't exist yet and doesn't have a function at this point. Could be a tavern.
I mean, it could. Like, if they've got, like, live fighting going on during it or something.
Oh my
which,
god.
With the meat sticks.
Yeah.
We keep trying to convince Brew to
Are we going to like a jazz club that's called The Last Gasp? Like a little
I'm
floating,
down for anything.
airman, spaceman. There's like a neon sign.
I mean, if we're trying to be, like, classy drunk, we can do that sort of thing. But at a certain point, they get a little iffy about over 7 at that place.
I got it right here, and this comes from actually our community moderator, Altair Khalid, who submitted a ton of stuff, all through the years. But I just did a search for bar in the name bucket, and I got the Blaggin' Flaggin', which is a bar on the wrong side of town, which is everywhere on the raft. So
I think Percy should be the one who busts in and recommends the bar. Jam was trying to get out without him to begin with.
That's a great idea. So let's do that. So Percy comes out. He's you can see that he's like hastily dressed himself, like in more appropriate like going out attire.
He's already ready for the night of the town.
He's got like a track jacket on, like it's like it's like zipped up, with the collar like pushed down, and he's got these like big pants, and he's looks very casual, in like some boots, and he's just like, I'm ready to hit the town. I heard that the Blaggin' Flaggin' has actually some great happy hour specials right now.
Wait, what?
The Blaggin' Flaggin'?
Yeah, the Blaggin' Flaggin'.
Oh, the place down the street that has the blacked out windows.
We just walk out. You just walk down there,
Smells weirdly like sausage.
Well, I mean, what doesn't smell a little like sausage in this town? But, yeah, I figured it's close, we just get a drink, maybe get a meal, and just tell me all about what's been going on. It seems like you guys have been out and about and on the town. Just fill me in, tell me all the things.
Yeah, I got some filling in to do.
Yo, wait a second. So you... No, there's no way you could have gone to the Black and Flagon before, right?
Someone at work just told me about it, and I'm interested to try it out.
Did they now? He leans down to Chum. Oh, this shit's gonna be good.
Jam perks up. Yeah, Jam perks up as he realizes what's going on, and yeah.
All right, let's go.
I want to walk up to Percy and just,
hey, uppies. Come on, don't make this weird. We do this all the time. Don't make this weird.
It's my turn. Yeah, it's fine. Come on up. And I just
you are the tallest of the group at that point.
yeah.
I mean, you and I are. I think you're actually a little bit taller than me, Brew.
But he's off doing stuff.
We're all heading
he's
out.
doing stuff.
I just
thought you were doing
stuff.
For me, I'm at the school.
Oh yeah, that's right. Brew's not here. He doesn't have his typical handles and person to hang out. So I'm his second choice, it seems, among this crew.
There's way too many hooved beings that don't watch where they're going around here.
No, I completely understand. Yeah. I got you, Chum. That's the least
Thanks.
I could do.
Appreciate it.
Do you do anything with the entire crew in the living room, pretty much having a loud discussion?
Yeah, are you coming?
You're all leaving?
Yeah, we're going to get a drink. You want to come?
Jam was trying to get out of the house with just Chum and March, but that didn't work.
It's like shot to hell.
Yeah, and
It's an
then
office party.
Percy overheard them, so you know.
Right.
You know how he gets. I say on his shoulder.
Sorry, this one's gonna be worth our time.
Sure.
I'm gonna send a. Go ahead.
Yeah. It would be good to get out, clear my head, get some air, or whatever it is we are breathing out here.
I
Dibs on
imagine
not paying for Lev.
I imagine like Lev walks out in his pajamas.
Oh my god!
While
I drew a
Percy
picture
was
of.
in it.
I drew a picture of Lev.
Yes.
I'm
Show
not
the
an
class.
artist, just to let you
us
guys
class.
know. I will in a second.
I'm gonna send a text to the group chat that Percy's not in. Meet us at the Black and Flagon to Brew and Glorp if you get
Okay, I
done
just
early.
posted it. There you go.
Yeah, I just imagine that like Percy was totally ready for a night in the town, and Lev was all ready for a night in.
Yes. The group of you leave the house to go to the Black and Flagon. Real quick before we get there, Glorp, I'm just gonna. I need to check with you on something. So you're right. You're at the school. You're preparing your lesson plans. You're doing all this stuff for this. Unexpected. Travel that you're going to have to take. One of the other, I guess, teachers, right, that's been placed here by Father Hayes, comes into the room. This is Jonathan Coombs, another one of the teachers here, and he says to you, Glorp, heard that you're going to have to, be out of office for a little bit. Is everything okay? Is there anything I can, is there anything you need me to cover? Is there anything, where are you going? Just fires off a litany of questions at you. This is you're like maybe in the break room, or like maybe you're in an office, like somewhere, kind of like prepping all these things, and like this guy just busts in, is like doing the whole small talk thing and interrupting your task. What would you do?
Glorp is in the classroom, right? I'm surrounded in like a half circle by those like A-frame things with the big giant pad of paper on it, and like you can tell, like the writing has gotten progressively worse as you go around the circle, right? Of like each lesson that I've prepared for the potential length of this trip, and then I'm like seated in the middle of them, like frantically painting a solar system, while also paper macheing another balloon with my, like, an additional just...
Glorp.
Yeah, an additional glorp. My pseudopod that I've like extended is like paper macheing while I'm painting a planet. And I just like push another planet towards Jonathan and say,
Yes, you can paint.
Oh, yeah, of course. He sits down and starts helping you. While he's helping you, though, he repeats the question. So where are you going? There's been some people whispering. I guess something with like flotilla business. And we're all like really curious.
Word gets around fast.
It's not often that some folks from the flotilla come down here and start like asking us for to do some stuff for them. This must be like what is? Can you talk about it?
I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to, and I also don't really know that much about what we're doing. It had something to do with a place called G-Side Luigi's. We already did that part, though.
You guys were up all the way up in Sector G? That's, oh, wow. I mean, you guys are going all over the raft.
That was a pizza-based trip, if I understand correctly.
Oh, so they just have you, like, fetching pizza for them? What is this, some sort of, like, off-world pizza run?
Maybe. That would make sense.
Okay. So that's
You would actually be really on brand.
So that's the conversation we're gonna get from this. Okay, that's great. No, maybe I'm showing my hand a little bit here as I am just throwing NPCs at you who are absolutely just curious about what you're doing. But so far, right, it is what it is. I'm just going to move on now. Promise I'm not trying to prod or poke or do anything nefarious. I love you all. But just asking questions. I'm just asking questions over here. Okay, so we're going to move on to the group then that's heading to the bar. And I guess, Brew, depending on how long you stay at the Our Lady of Wanderers, I will give you the option at some point to, like, maybe as you're walking home, like, you may see them at this place and join them, or you can just choose to be like, I don't want to drink. But, I'll let you make that decision as we're kind of going through this situation. So you guys get to the Blag and Flagon. Big neon sign out front, right? It's just part of like this big tall, like, it looks like like probably a section of an old battleship that was like destroyed in a battle. So like, there's this multi-story like building that's been converted into, and the first floor is the bar. There is a small outdoor area, but it's pretty much just like there's like a scrap metal like fence surrounding it. There's like one or two like just tall bar tables out here, no seats, and there's people like smoking some sort of like whatever this universe's equivalent of like a cigarette is, right? Or if it even is just cigarettes. But they're smoking something out there, There's like there's a bunch of people grouped up. This place actually looks really busy.
They're not just a bunch of things of calm emotion.
Maybe there could be some scrolls of calm emotion in there. Also, another thing you do notice that's very obvious that does not require any perception checks is that there are a large number of like almost dirt bike looking motorcycles parked out front.
Nice.
Nice question.
I would like, I guess, all of you to make me a history check. March, you will be doing so at advantage as you have been a resident of the raft longer.
About the bicycle gang?
Correct.
Did you get a nat 20?
No. The other one.
My first roll with my giant dice, and I got a dirty 21.
Mine was a 4.
You don't have to say dirty when it's I know you can't roll a 21.
But I like calling my rolls dirty. Don't take this from me.
I mean, Chum is dirty, so this is on brand.
I'm in character. Everything's dirty over here except for criticals, if you know what I mean.
For fuck's sake.
March was a 22.
Perfect. So, Chum and March, you know that these, especially with like a lot of the markings and other things that are kind of sort of spray painted all over these dirt bike looking things. This is the the Cold-Bloodeds, or the Cold Bloods, we'll call them. This is a lizard folk biker gang that exists here within the raft, and there's probably at least 15 of these bikes parked out front. So they're gathering here.
Such high rolls, would you grant us their temperament? Would we know of their reputation?
How would you? Their general temperament. I mean, like, not in this moment, but just in general. I mean, as with most gangs on the raft, like a lot of their beefs and conflicts are usually amongst other rival gangs. This particular area is not known to be Cold Blood turf, however.
Okay.
Whose turf is? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah. You don't know what street
You have
we're
no
on.
idea about the inner workings of the gangs. At least you, except for maybe your smuggling ring. You maybe be able to talk to your contact, though. You know what I mean? You might be able to call Tink.
Last question
at
about
any point in time. That is your background feature, right? I'm sorry. Say that again. Sam?
Just last question about the gangs. Just from my experience, do they field racers?
Do they field racers? Oh, like
skid racing,
junk racers, like the people.
Junk racing, skid racing.
So okay, is a little bit of a peek into some of Choom's backdrop aboard the raft here. Some of these races take place outside of the raft, but not like in space necessarily, right? It's still within the gravity envelope of the raft, but some people use some of the debris field that inevitably trails behind the raft as a sort of a racing track, an unlicensed racing track / obstacle course.
That's why my mail truck looks like I made way too many modifications still.
What I will say is that these guys are much more like ground level, like inside the raft type. They don't really field any folks out there, because there's a lot of different people there's a lot of different representation of groups on the raft who take part in this, because there's betting, there's other shit that goes on, right? But no, the Cold Bloods have no interest in the local racing scene.
So I would just kind of lean over, look off of Percy towards March, and I'll look at the bikes, be like, "You see that, bud?"
Because they can't handle the heat.
It's gonna be a fun night.
Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of keep the information to myself for now.
Okay. So you guys walk in. Again, it's busy. It's one of these. You can kind of see that this bar / like, they do serve some bar food as well. So it's like a pseudo restaurant, but there's it's 2 levels, right? So there's a second level to this place as well, that there's more seating and things above, and there's a second bar up top. First floor seems to be, you can see there's actually a ton of like lizard folk of all kind of, I guess, presentations of like, different like reptilian humanoids, right? Like you have some that look more like bearded dragons. You have others that look more gecko-like or more chameleon-like, right? But there's this smattering of like reptilian humanoids wearing like biker jackets, and you can see all of them, are open carrying firearms like on their hips.
I imagine there's no McGoggles because they're simply too pure for this kind of thing.
You have not. Actually, I think I can safely say right now. In fact, I'm going to say right now, none of you have yet to encounter a McGoggle. You've never seen a McGoggle or a grung so far. No tiny frog-like people have been something you've encountered thus far. We've now established that.
The second floor sounds like a Ralph Steadman painting right now.
It's rowdy in here, but I mean, for the raft's standards, peaceful. I mean, there's always the I guess occasional backdrop of a breaking glass or someone shouting at another person. Every now and again there might be like an altercation at the bar, but when you walk in, you see that there are 2 big burly. We're going to actually make these, because I want to kind of go off of a suggestion that one of our listeners gave when they listened to our first episode of like a bork, right? Like a hog humanoid type thing.
Oh, shit.
And like these big burly, like pig-looking things, big bellies. Just your
like
big
Gamorrean guards.
Yes, that's exactly what I was imagining.
Big, there you go, perfect. And then just like big bouncer type dudes, right? They got these like polo shirts on that are like stretched out, and they got just security written on it, right? And they're just kind of standing at the door scanning. You know, every now and again they'll like throw someone out who's, you know, been a little too rowdy. You know, so like it seems like this place is at least like doing its best to keep things operating, right, and from escalating. However, all of you know from living aboard the raft for the last like 8 months that you know it's there's always it's always a tinderbox in most of these places, especially when there's, you know, some of the local riffraff are present. So, you know, it might put you some of you on edge. It might put, you know, but I guess it depends on how you view these sorts of things, because they're not going to bother you, you know that, unless you go up and start fucking with them.
Yeah, just don't step on their tails and we'll be fine.
Yeah. In fact, because it is crowded, and thank you so much, Seb, for the suggestion, I would like all of you to make dexterity checks as we're walking through the crowds.
Do I'm good, right?
I'm riding you, so
You are on Percy,
Yeah.
but Percy will have to make one instead.
Shit.
I cast guidance on Percy.
He nat 20s. He's fine.
Oh, thank God.
Even though he's got these big, you know, clumsy feet, he's found a way to just
Can
be
I switch?
navigating these crowds with ease. Say that again.
Can I switch my guidance then if before?
Well, I mean, I'm the only one you can probably touch right now. So
It's true. It's true.
I'm gonna look at the rest of you now. Jam, how did you do?
What is it? What
It's a
kind of roll?
dexterity check. Just
Dexterity check?
dexterity, unless you want to try to sell me on something else. But
No. 9.
Lovely. The ranger gets a 9. Yummy. Lou, what'd you get?
18.
18.
Boy, dancing.
Lovely. The big dudes are doing just fine.
Graceful.
I was gonna say,
Graceful.
yeah.
And March, how about you?
Here's what we're gonna really see about this one. 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you
And
know,
it's
as with
borderline
most
roll.
of
You're a
these things,
fucking rabbit. How the fuck?
I'm fishing for ones in these types of situations.
Of course.
You know, I'm gonna say that maybe like Jam, you know, you do kind of accidentally brush up against, or like maybe trip over the tail just slightly, but like you catch yourself of one of the lizard folk at the bar, and you kind of just see him look down and kind of give you a glare. Do you kind of like? Do you?
Yeah. Jam will kind of give like the nod and like the apology wave and just can keep moving on.
Yeah, and he just kind of turns his head back to the bar or to his friends or whatever. You know, there was no escalation, right? Just kind of like a, you know, watch where you're going kind of
Right.
look. And yeah, like this is this kind of establishment. You can see there's signs up there that just says, "Please seat yourselves, first come, first serve" type thing.
Is there a corner booth?
Is there a corner booth? Let me roll something. There is.
Is
You
it
can see that there's
occupied?
actually there's a group getting up from one right now on the first floor.
Oh, over there. That's a good seat. Get it.
All right, well, Percy with his nat 20, right? I mean, like, just like shuffles right up. He's easier to impress, right? So he's just trying to make sure that his friends like can justify him being here, because even though, you know, he's, you know, y'all invited him along, like he's not stupid. He knows that y'all think he's a square too, but he's just happy to be here, and he's eager to just try to like, you know, prove his place here with all of you. And yeah, he like just sneaks right in, like, you know, like the table still has like empty like drink glasses and things like that. There's this like, you know, just sort of like aggressive like just like beats like playing through some loudspeakers in here. It's very loud. There's just this din of people talking. Again, glasses breaking and clinking, and you're just kind of waiting for someone to arrive. But Jam, you also notice that seated on the other end of this bar is your contact, Tink.
Oh, cool.
He is talking with a few other people at a table. He hasn't seen you. He hasn't seen you come in. He seems pretty like engaged in whatever conversation he's having.
Yeah.
But you do notice that he's here.
The thing about
He's hanging out here.
NFTs.
Jam will give that a moment. He sees that Tink's in a conversation, so he'll catch him in a second. He was planning on calling him anyway, so this is actually convenient for him.
Yeah, so I'll say that it's no one comes to your table. Make an order after about 15 minutes.
Jam wouldn't wait that long.
It's been however many minutes that Jam Jam deems is too long.
3.
2 minutes. No one has come to see you. It's busy as
Done
hell
in a
in
second.
here.
It's crazy.
Jam Jam will go try to get around for the table.
Pale lights.
Okay, so yeah, go up to the bar. There are as I love, because I just love this idea in my head, like because of the fact that we live in a place where there are people of many heights and sizes. There is a section of the bar that has like some steps that go up to like a more of a raised platform that can put shorter folk at eye level with the barkeep.
Nice.
It's crowded up there too. However, you can try to push your way to the front.
Probably on
Yeah.
the bigger end of small people.
Yeah. Jam Jam could also potentially hop on a chair at some point if he had to. Can I do a perception just of how or where the easiest? Because I think Jam Jam might be able to figure out where to fit into the bar, like as
That
you
sounds
would.
great. Yeah, just give me a justify thing. That sounds good.
Aha! That's 20.
Oh yeah, I mean you
that's
spot like you can kind of see where there's two people who are standing there, but they're not actually waiting, right? They're just having a conversation.
I hate when
with
people
each
do
other.
that. Yeah.
But you can see that there's a spot where you can kind of slink around them, right, and get ahead because there is actually nobody waiting at that spot in the bar.
Yep.
And yeah, you're able to scope it out. You get up there, and you order around for the table. The rest of you at the table, like while he's doing that, I'm just trying to. So Percival, starts talking to you guys. He's just like, so hey, what's going on? What's been happening? I'm sorry. I've been working some long shifts. Just trying to work some overtime and get some extra cash to save up. In case we could find a way to get back home. I just want to make sure I'm contributing.
No, it's fine. No, you're good. Whatever the end of that sentence was, I agree. But I figured you should know some things. And Marge's gonna fill you in on the details here, but I have a plan. And I'm going to need you, if you're in.
You need me?
Yes,
Me?
you.
Yeah,
You are the superstar.
Of course, I'd have to do anything to help. I'm absolutely.
Perfect.
So Marge, fill me in. What's going on?
All right, so
we can, and I will offer you the ability to. We can roleplay this. We can yada a little bit. It's up. I just want to make sure that it's clear what you are and are not choosing to share with Percival. Right. I want to give you that space. So go ahead.
Well,
sorry.
I have no idea what we're doing, so I
Damn
figure
it! I
he's
didn't
just-
either. So I took a guess.
I have no idea. So, the only thing I would be able to think of is to make something up, and I figured you're just making me part of a setup to fuck with Percy or something.
I come back from the bar with 2 drinks in my hand, and I go over to Percy, and I'm like, "You're going to need this," and I kind of aggressively put it into his
Lev
drink.
just gets drinks. Yeah. Okay.
Well, he's. I mean, as a guy myself of my size, it does happen
It's
a little
probably
easier.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So sure, and then maybe shortly after Jam Jam then arrives, with a round that's going to come to the table shortly. So he probably got his own first, and then the rest are coming. Because I don't know if you could fit all those in your hands.
It's only a bucket of beer.
4 hands, 4 drinks.
Yeah, just like a pitcher or something like that, right, for the table or whatever. Sure.
Thanks, Jam Jam. I owe you one.
Yeah. Okay. So now, March starts making shit up. Lev is at the table now. Yeah. What do you guys just tell Percy? Like, give me a synopsis. Do you just tell him everything that you were told by Proxy Keen? Do you guys tell him about all these details, or do you leave him in the dark?
Oh wait, yeah, this
Well,
is
we
the
may have-
Proxy Keen job. Yeah, no, we gotta have to tell him about the Proxy.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's what I
we may
meant.
have messed up and
okay.
invited.
That's me being a little spacey then. So yeah, no, this isn't something we should fuck with him about. So I give a pretty good synopsis of what went on.
Sure. Okay.
Long story short, Percy, is may have made a deal with we had an interview with a vampire, and it was it was okay.
So are you sure he's a vampire? Have you checked for any telltale signs?
We're like 98% sure.
Yeah, we are pretty sure that is true.
Yeah.
You should have seen all the tests that we did, and it was Anyways,
We did everything short of throw him in a lake.
it was.
Is that for witches? I can't remember.
Do you know where to find a lake?
Yeah, there's no lakes on the raft.
Oh.
There's a
Pools.
reservoir, but you don't want to actually throw anybody in there.
That sounds kind of dangerous. And you said you were given firearms and other weapons and things.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
if you're gonna use those, like, do you guys know how to use those, right?
No.
Listen, I've spent an
Well,
extensive
listen.
period of time over the last several months learning the ins and outs of these things, and I can also send you with some additional, maybe I can requisition some extra non-lethal ammunition for you as well, should you need to incapacitate anyone. Wouldn't want you.
You got those rubber
unnecessarily-
grenades that they use on the people that are protesting for good shit and stuff?
No.
Yeah, those are pretty effective.
Yeah, they work. This shit hurts.
It's more along the lines of I can requisition some magazines that fit the caliber of whatever things you were given that maybe could just be used for non-lethal purposes should you find, that might be the better course of action.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want anyone here necessarily coming back and being wanted for murder.
Well, I know that I expressed this earlier, and it didn't seem like the sentiment was completely shared, but I am a little bit suspicious of this whole thing. Because apparently, and I know how this looks, okay, I may look like a monkey, but I have some brains. Why entrust such important things to us?
Points into a really gross mirror that just happens to be on the other side. And we all just look like the not picture of what you would want to send on an important mission.
And you're right, they gave us firearms. God knows what we could have done with those. We could be doing whatever we want right now. What are they gonna do?
Well, I think having worked with the man for a little while, I think Father Jack Hayes' word does carry a lot of weight around these parts. So, maybe that's why they approached us. That's it. I mean, it is very curious. I'm with you on that.
Right.
But if this is a means for us to maybe get in with people who can actually help us, some of us would like to get home, right, Lev?
Of course.
Exactly.
I think that this might be a worthwhile endeavor, and I'd like to at least help you in any ways I can. Obviously, I wasn't chosen for this, which is it's fine.
It's okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
I'd still like to help you in any other ways I possibly can. Like I said, I can equip you with, I can requisition some things from the Technicians Guild. I could probably at least get you a few magazines of some non-lethal ammunition before tomorrow. It's just I don't know if I can get anything sooner than that. Any other things, any other supplies. Nor would they probably let me get anything cooler. I'm still working my way up the ranks.
But here's the thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bud.
Just one thing that kind of popped into my head here about that whole thing is, did any of us, and this is an indictment of myself too here included, did any of us think to talk to Father Hayes and verify any of this shit?
That's what I was gonna ask Percy, because you work with him, right?
I mean, yes, I have a workbench assigned to me within the Our Lady of Wanderers where I do most of my work.
What does he know about this Proxy Keen fella?
I can ask him.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he should be doing while we're gone is trying to figure out about this Proxy Keen dude through Father Hayes.
When do you said you leave tomorrow? Like we could probably try to talk to him before you go. Like it sounds like this might be something you want to learn before you leave on this mysterious mission.
Right. You got his number, right?
Yeah. Well, I do. It's not like he really answers that often. You kind of just have to go in and see him most of the time. He's
Right,
doing
but
a lot
don't
of
you want to
things,
be really
but I can
useful
try to
right
call
now?
him. Sure, okay, yeah, I'll call him. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll call him right now. Percival steps up from the booth and pulls his phone out and starts making a call.
I'm gonna stick my whole face in the beer, take a sip.
Yeah, Jam walks back with his beer. He'd already been kind of chatting over in the corner with Tink.
I love that
And
name.
he slides in to the little booth. And did you tell him about the vampire?
Yeah, that was the first thing we covered. Yes.
Oh, good.
He didn't seem too concerned about it.
And I'm sorry, Jam, you said you did go over to Tink for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Did you, he says hi to you. Did you, want to talk to him about anything specific before you walked away? I just want to make sure I address that before.
No, I literally
you
just
leave
told him that I'd be out for a little bit on a thing. Couldn't really talk about it.
Okay. Well, what he would say, though, is while you're out there, man, don't think about, if there's anything worthwhile, maybe, that you can live from wherever you're going. I got plenty of people who might be interested in those sorts of things. So just don't forget about your old pal Tank. Okay? I can move whatever you need me to move. You just say the word.
Jam nods and then does I'm smart, taps the side of his head, and then cheers his Tink, and then wanders back to the group as Percy's conversation.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just want to again address that because he would still probably be curious and tell you to hey, I can help you sell some shit.
Right.
You happen to find some things that are interesting wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna kind of start advancing now. The night continues. Percy does come back, after he gets off the phone, and he says, I did manage to get a hold of Father Hasty. He was a little upset that I was bothering him at this hour, but anyways, he did say that, Proxy is someone he knows that works at the flotilla. Doesn't have the greatest things to say about the flotilla all the time. However, he does, obviously, right, there is a balance that's maintained between here, the raft, and the flotilla, and, he's probably the one who communicates with them the most. So he was able to verify, at least, that Proxy is legit. But
So we might
couldn't
get
tell you
paid.
more about the guy. He doesn't really know too much. He said he is a rather mysterious individual and usually is involved in some sort of, intelligence work. It's really all he could tell me.
Thanks, Percy. That was really helpful.
I'm so glad you just.
You
see
are a
he's
valued member of this team. Don't
he's
forget.
he's at a loss for words, right? He's just kind of beaming a little bit, Okay.
So I'm gonna give a side eye to Jam and March, the two people that I feel like in the house would be willing to listen to this idea, but out of respect for everyone in the house, I'm asking Lev as well.
So, I just know that no run is good without a backup plan. And I might have a backup plan if you're willing to listen. I don't all the way trust this guy, and I don't all the way trust the flotilla. And our lives might be in the balance here. So, as far as I see it, we're not gonna get Lev home to his kids if we get blown up on some space rock. So it might be up to us to get it done. So he said the information that we're being sent to get has something to do with possibly getting back to where we came from. Is there a chance, March?
I should hold on before you continue that thought. He didn't necessarily say that the information is related to you getting back
He would
home.
help
He said
us, though.
that he would help you find your way home
If we
you
succeed.
do this, if you are successful, right? Just
So
wanna make
there
sure that
is
that
already
clear.
a way to do that
Well,
outside
maybe.
of him?
They haven't heard of they've never heard of where you've come from. However, they would be willing to offer their resources and their services to help you locate this home.
So it's really up to Lev.
Right.
See, I like where your head's at there, Chum, though. This thing, from the second we liberate this, piece of information or whatever the heck it is from, Project Q, from this research station, until the second we hand it off to somebody else, we have leverage. And there's an important thing to think about there.
Right.
Is that
Yes, I should say, I will also clarify, right? You were told that there are a number of interested parties that would love to get their hands on this particular information, namely the major faction. Some of the I would say that the three major sort of influential factions that
Right.
you have been mostly exposed to, which is the Crimson Imperium, the New Federation, and Astral Tech, and then also the flotilla.
So
Honestly, so four.
Chum's gonna reach in his jacket and pull out a folded up piece of a magazine, and he's gonna drop it in front of Jam, and on it is going, if you'll allow this, on it is going to be a something that would allow you to access driving a piloting station without being coded to the flotilla or what. It's basically you're hacking it's like a key for the.
That would just be hackers' tools, and do you have hackers' tools?
Yes, and I'm just
Okay.
all right. Well, I don't. but I think
Then
somebody
you
does.
don't. Yeah, that would be March for sure. As
So-
hackers tools.
You got a
I
few
throw it down on
things.
the table, and I'm like,
If we can either get one of these or replicate something like this, I am 99.998% sure that I could fly that ship that they're about to send us on.
Does-
There is going to be already a pilot, right? On that
Right,
ship.
of course. Yeah, we'll make sure he gets paid or whatever. Or whatever. Wink.
Oh, if our lives are on it, we're jacking that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't normally bring this up. I'm, a flotilla fearing man.
That's really smart, and I think we maybe figure some shit out overnight. We probably got the stuff between us to put something like that together.
So you're suggesting as a plan B, if, for whatever, I guess I'm not necessarily sure on what the trigger for this plan is necessarily going to be quite yet, but you're saying that if something were to go, a certain way, you were going to hijack this ship you're going onto?
Right.
And
And here's
Jam Jam will stop you and say, Choom, come with Jam Jam.
is this like a come hither, or is this like a
No.
come hither?
Jam Jam like aggressive toboggans out from under the table towards Tink.
this motherfucker with his aggressive tobogganing.
Yeah, just tobogganing everywhere.
Is there any way
Very
that
aggressive. Can you tone it down a little bit?
Is there any way that I could climb at least 10 feet up?
Between the booths or something like that?
From the
just
ground?
to end up where I'm at?
You said
know
there's
what,
two floors.
I actually have something for this for you. Roll me an acrobatics check, Choom.
Okay. Let me get my dice. Whew, this dice is doing it for me today. That's a dirty 21.
I'm going to say that you're able to actually, as you see Jam Jam just start aggressive tobogganing away, you are able to hop on and ride him like a surfboard. to the destination.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
hell
Okay.
yeah.
Now, Lev, the person who just suggested hijacking the ship just skated away. So now you're just with March and Percy. Percy has like a finger raised, but didn't get a chance to interject himself. So I'm just curious, like, if you have any thoughts to share. Because Percy's just going to be like, did he just suggest a ship jacking?
I don't think it is that.
It's
serious.
not plan A. It's not. Well, it's kind of plan B, but I feel like we could have some intermediate plans between A and that. But that's our not die plan.
I mean, yes, if circumstances are dire enough where you need to get back safely, sure, absolutely,
Yeah,
prioritize your
like-
safety. But, I would not want to anger our current hosts.
Oh no.
Until we could find our own way home, this is kind of our home for right now.
No, you're in the right place.
And I like my job.
I like my job.
You're lying about that, but I will let it slide for now because we have bigger fish to fry. Nobody likes their job, all right? You don't have to bullshit us on this one.
He seemed pretty genuine.
Oh, I'm sure he is, and I'm sure he's absolutely telling the truth. But March is such a gigantic cynic that he could not possibly believe that to be true.
Okay, okay, good. Just make sure that commentary. So you skate over to Tink then, Jam Jam and Seb, right?
Yeah.
Or Jam Jam and Choom.
So
What was your objective here, Jam Jam?
Jam Jam's thought is, if we need hot wire software, pretty much, and we need it within 12 hours, probably max,
Right.
that the smuggler would know exactly.
So is that what you're proposing? So is that what you're
Yeah.
kind of proposing to him?
So again, Jam Jam slides back over to Tink with a small simian on his back.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's important distinction.
Excuse me again, Tink. How much for and he looks to Choom to explain exactly what we need.
Oh, yeah. So, what I'm looking for, if you could do it in time. Oh, by the way, Choom Daloon, by the way. Nice to meet you. Shake your hand.
Tink Fizzlewick.
No handshake.
He extends the hand, hesitantly. As he's kind of like check. He's like, oh yeah. He's like eyeing you up and down as he's making this introduction. You can tell that he's like sussing you out.
All right, that's cool.
Slicks his hair back subconsciously.
All right. what I really need, I'm pretty sure as far as like these hacking tools, the hair over there is going to be able to do the job. What I really need is some uncoded off-channel sending stones or whatever you call them here.
You talking about communications?
Yeah, one's not on the regular channels, if you get my drift.
It's a pretty tight time frame you're talking about there, bud.
I mean, I could back it up with some gold, what's the units, credits?
GP, just GP.
GP? Yeah, I could back it up with some GPs if you, if it's a problem.
What are you offering?
Well, how about this? You tell me what you think that they would cost, and I will tell you what I will tip
No,
you.
it doesn't work like that, pal. What are you offering? I need to see if you're serious.
Jam Jam will say, "You know we don't have that much money," and I'll try to roll.
I know you don't have that much money, Jam Jam. I'm talking about your friend here.
Yeah.
Unless you're bankrolling this operation.
Oh man, can I roll an insight check on this guy real quick? So I don't want this to take.
What do you
forever.
want to incite here?
I want to insight if he's trying to rip me off.
He's
I'm
Jam
not gonna even
Jam's
make you roll
friend.
an insight. You are talking to a criminal. Absolutely, he is.
Hey!
Absolutely.
Hey! This is the hard C. No. Listen, we have to do what we have to do, and I understand that. You seem like a reasonable guy. So how about this? I'll give you 25 GP for the sending stones, exactly at least 4 of them.
You say 25 beach GP, and he just starts laughing, like belly laughing. You want some unmarked communication devices within 12 hours, 25 GP. Yeah, you fucking serious with this guy, Jam Jam?
Jam Jam will put his hand on Tink's shoulder and say, "You know we have not a lot of experience with this sort of thing. Please just be upfront with him. How much would it actually cost to get these kind of things so we know whether or not it's possible?"
Gotta be 500 at least.
Jeez.
Unless we'll call this a trust exercise, Jam Jam. We're gonna say you're responsible for this lung's debt here. You find me something interesting, something I can sell for a good amount. We'll appraise that, and maybe we'll just shave off whatever he owes from what that sells for, huh? But you better bring me something back good, or else we're gonna be putting your friend to work here too.
This sounds like a win-win to Jam Jam. It's so long as, of course, Jam Jam survives.
All right, check your door. The package will be there. 5 a.m. sharp. Don't let it sit there.
Where? Is this like a pre-specified
Fucking
location?
mailbox, dummy.
Oh, you know where we live. Oh, that's cool. Right. Bye. I'm just gonna
see
turn
ya.
around.
Jam Jam again nods to Tink and gives him, because they're friends, they get along. Like Tink is this way with
friends.
Yeah.
with anybody, but
Well, he knows
Jam
you're
and-
still a noob, and you just brought another person who's even more green than
Yeah.
you are. He's just So he was just a little tough with you.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he gives you a nod, and he just he gives you that look like you better bring something back, bud. Like this I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so yeah, then the rest of the night ends without incident. There was a brief moment where a bunch of unicycles with mines upon them also pulled up. However, no one came to blows, and the rest of the night passes peacefully. I did roll something off to the side before that, but we got lucky there. And we're going to end this episode as the night fades to black, and we will pick up next time in the morning when the mission begins.
5 a.m. sharp.
Until then, hey everybody, if you like us, you can find us on the internet. I would love it if you visited our link tree. It's just linkter.ee/hapless You can find links to all of our social media on there, our merch store, our fan-made wiki page, all of the things that are relevant to this show, including the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server. It's free to join. You can just come in, hang out, talk to us, talk about these episodes as they air, talk about other things, D&D related, or TTRPGs, or any of that kind of stuff, or things that aren't necessarily related to that. It's a pretty cool place. We have a great a great community that we've built in there. We've been doing the occasional listening party even for certain episodes, and finding other ways to interact with y'all. So, join it. It's a cool place. I can't speak highly enough of it. But if you really, really, really like us, we'd love it if you left us a 5-star review or rating on the podcast service of your choice. All of those things help us kind of just grow in the ranks and, get more people listening to the show. We really appreciate it. And hey, if we see that review, we'll give you a shout on the air as well, recognize you as the 5-star human that you are. And if your podcast service doesn't allow you to leave reviews, we also have a 5-star channel in our Discord server. We'll let you do that. We've gotten a couple submissions in our 5-star channel that are more like narrations, and I want to find something to do with those because I feel like I would not do them enough justice should I read them. However, I do have another review that does come from actually a friend of the pod, Saint Veloth, on our Discord server, has left us a review. And he says, I finally listened to enough episodes on Spotify after initially listening on Google Podcasts to leave y'all a 5-star review. Loving this cast of characters and the absurdity that ensues when y'all are together and jamming. Looking forward to going through the olden days stuff of season 1 and excited for the continuation of season 2. Keep up the excellent work, friends. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you. You are a 5-star human. But anyhow, I have another thing to plug, and that is if you really, 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 really like us, we have a Patreon page. It's just patreon.com/haplessheroes. We have a bunch of different reward tiers we've been recording. We have like a bunch of bloopers that we've posted up on there. We've started to group a lot of those posts into some of the things that Patreon has allowed us to do now, so that all of our bloopers are sorted into one category and all their behind the scenes content and is in another. All of that is just for the price of a cup of coffee every month, honestly, and we're constantly adding new things to it. Dave and I have been talking about, we're going to shop this idea of maybe doing like maybe a deep dive lore series on our Patreon that kind of just go maybe more into some of the homebrewed stuff that we've written as like the backdrop of this campaign, and just dive a little deeper into some of the things that we've mentioned on the show, but maybe have not had a lot of time to expose, or maybe it would be a little too much detail to necessarily do in the format that we currently do in as an actual play. So for those of you curious about that, I think that we're gonna probably get those started sometime this year, and continue till we run out of things to talk about, which might be hard for us. So if you like that sort of thing, keep an eye on our Patreon for that. And then that's really all I have to say. So the last thing I have to do now is outro my cast for you. Starting on the reverse order in which they were introduced. On my virtual right, that would be Nicole playing Glorp Glop Glop.
Oh, I forgot the Mime Gang lockdown plan.
Dave as March.
See, now I gotta dig through all my stuff tonight. We're gonna do some good work on the overnight. Gonna be some good stuff.
Lewis as Lev Zangief.
I'm going to feel this in the morning.
John as Jam Jam.
Until next time.
Mike as Brunner Brew Blitzbore.
Can't wait to start our first adventure.
And Seb as Choom Daloom.
I told you, place smells like sausage.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. Tune in next week where these folks are going to go off-world. What will happen to them? I don't know, but we'll see. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
What will happen to you, Fran?
I'm fine.